What's up? Y'all already know how I do it, man. Y'all already know how I do it, man. Got a guest, man, special guest on tonight. When I do my podcast, Real Talk with Mike Steele, you know, I bring some of the hottest people around the city of Birmingham, and also my reach is long, man. It doesn't matter where we are. We're going to have some good people coming on and blessing us with some great conversation. It's not an interview, it's a conversation. And I got a great guest coming on, and me personally, there's somebody that I want to learn about because I watched him a while, seen him around, and I am so stoked to have this brother on with me tonight, and it's a live occasion. Y'all already know. So without further ado, I'm bringing my guy on, Mr. Truman Fitzgerald.
Look at that introduction, Mike.
In the building. Bring you on the camera. Oh, Lord. There we go. There we go. Let me bring him on the camera, though, so everybody can see my guy. But, hey, man, I appreciate you. See, Fitz, when you're doing a show like this, it doesn't matter, man. We do it. Hey, we do it when mistakes don't matter.
At all.
You know what I'm saying? This radio,
Organic.
I've been doing radio for 16, 17 years. And I'm good at it.
It's organic.
It's organic. There you go. So, man, I got my guy on, man. Hey, we're gonna get into the meat and the potatoes, or whatever you want to call it. But what I do, Truman, before I get into anything, what I like to do, I like to ask you a question.
Sure.
And everybody, when you see my show, you know this the one question that I ask everybody that come in and sit down and chop it up with Mike Steele. And one word, who is Truman Fitzgerald? One word.
Truman Fitzgerald is law.
Law. Oh, boy.
Law. One word to describe me, law.
The law man.
Law. Everything about me, my personal life, my professional life, if I had to choose one word to describe me, it would be law.
It would be law. Wow. Man, y'all, do me a big favor. Y'all, I want y'all to welcome my guy in the building, man. Truman Fitzgerald, attorney at law. Y'all give him a round of applause. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
I love it, Mike.
We in here.
I love it.
Man. I don't even think that was, hold on. I know we got one. Let's give him a better one. Come on. Come on, put your hands together. Give him a better one. Only y'all can do that.
Shout out to all the viewers too.
Yeah, man.
That's on your show listening and watching. Shout out to them.
Yeah, appreciate that. Man, look, guys, I got my guy on, man. I think you're an interesting guy, man. You know, before we get into I want to kind of walk down with you for a second, kind of talk about you as a whole, man, because I've been watching you for a while since I've been back in Birmingham. But you've done some great things, man. But in a nutshell, man, where you grew up at, bro?
I'm Birmingham born and raised.
Birmingham born and raised.
Specifically, I grew up in the Glen Iris neighborhood.
Glen Iris?
Glen Iris.
Okay.
A very diverse neighborhood. It was one of the most unique neighborhoods in Birmingham. You had UAB's football coach at the time. When I was growing up in the 90s,
okay,
UAB's head football coach was one of our neighbors. You had a UAB football coach in the neighborhood, and across our street was an apartment complex that the Birmingham Police Department's narcotics unit would do search warrants all the time. And we're all living in one neighborhood.
Really?
And I think it just really gave me a diverse background because you had affluent neighbors, you had neighbors that were out here getting it other ways.
Getting it in.
We were all in one circle. But I grew up in the Glen Iris neighborhood. I'm 36 years old.
Okay.
So it gives you a time frame of when I was growing up. I grew up in the 90s and early 2000s.
Yes.
And my family has always lived in Birmingham.
Okay, so you listen to the good R&B in the 90s.
Great R&B. Great
The 90s.
R&B.
Yeah, the 90s and the 2000s wasn't bad for music.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah. So, but it's funny that I'm trying to figure out, was it Watson Brown, the head coach of UAB at that time?
So
I don't know who.
Older white gentleman. I can see him walking his dogs down the sidewalk. But
I mean, I played football.
I couldn't tell you his name for $1 million right now.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter. When you mentioned that, man, it just made me think about, me in the 90s playing football at Miles.
Okay. And Mike, I'm so old. I'm so old. When I was growing up, UAB didn't have class on Fridays.
Oh.
And we had a lot of fraternity houses near my childhood house. So every Thursday night was the party night because nobody had to go to class
so they had
on Fridays.
They had the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
They had Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays completely off.
So Friday, Saturday, Sunday was like, hey, man, this is it.
It was wild in our neighborhood.
That's all right. So you grew up in Glen Iris. Yeah. Are you the only sibling?
I have 2 younger brothers. Okay. I'm the oldest of 3.
Oh, you're oldest of 3.
Oldest of 3.
Gotcha.
So we're 1989, 1991, and 1994.
Wow. 89, you.
I'm 89.
Man.
May 1st, 1989.
Shout out to 89, baby.
I was the last of the 80s.
The last of the 80s. Shout out to 89.
Shout out to 89.
Talk about your parents for a minute.
My mom is still here in Birmingham. She lives on the west side. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, crazy story, I did not know my father until about 3 years ago. Word. I always knew of him. However, I had never seen him a day in my life. And
you knew, hold on.
I knew of him. I knew who my dad was, but I had never seen him.
Did you know where he was living?
I had an idea.
But you just didn't. Go ahead.
No, I had no pictures of him.
Okay.
If it wasn't for social media, I never would have had an idea what he looked like. I just happened to look his name up one time.
Yeah.
Saw his face. I was like, oh, that's my dad. I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
And what happened was I didn't use any law enforcement databases because you could go to jail for that. And right hand, I did not do that.
No, I guarantee you.
I used some other databases from some skills that I have, and I looked this man up.
Yeah.
And from that search, I was able to pull a phone number up.
Yeah.
And I just called him. I said, hey, you're not going to believe who this is. I said, my name's Truman Fitzgerald. I know this sounds awkward, but my whole entire life, my mom has told you that you were my dad. This man gave me so much of his attention. Keep in mind, I'm 36 now, so I was 33 at the time.
Wow.
He gave me the time. He gave me the time of day.
Hold on.
Pause. Come on.
Because I'm hearing you tell this story, and I'm hearing a 33-year-old engaging in this kind of activity. Well, you got some guts. But you take some balls to do that. You know, like go ahead though. I just want to call that out.
Thank you.
Because a lot of people, man, don't have the courage to do that. But go ahead.
Called him. I said, hey, my entire life, my mom's told me that you were my dad. And I don't want anything. I'm just at a difficult point in my life where I feel I need you.
Wow.
And he told me, he said, believe it or not, he said, I'm actually going to be in Birmingham soon because his job requires him to travel. And he was like, when I'm in Birmingham, let's meet up. So we met up, and I'll never forget. We went to Olive Garden in Hoover, and we sat there
in my hometown,
and we literally broke bread because they give you bread and salad. We literally broke bread together.
Yeah, bread sticks and salad.
It was like we had known each other our entire lives, in my entire life, and he was just. My dad was so open to meeting me, and eventually, what happened was I said, "Hey, we don't have to do this, but." I want closure. would you be willing to take a DNA test? And he was like, of course I would. So we went and took a DNA test.
But both y'all, but
we went and
two
took a
peas in a
DNA
pod.
test.
Seems like
We went and took a DNA test.
Bro, it seemed like it's two peas in a pod, man.
We went and took a DNA test, and I will share this story because I want to brag about somebody. Donald Watkins Jr.
Donald Watkins Jr.
And I know you'll if you Google that name, you'll
That's
see
attorney.
His dad.
Yeah, Alabama State
attorney.
guy. My guy.
And his son helped us walk through that process of DNA testing.
Yeah, Donald Watkins, man.
Watkins
yeah,
Jr.
I know Donald Watkins.
He's always going to hold a special place in my heart for that.
Yes. Donald Watkins, you know I've been reaching out to you to be on this show too. Go ahead.
I didn't mean my bad, Donald. A few weeks later, we got the results back. My 99.99999%. That was my father. And he told me, he said, son, I didn't want to tell you this. He said, but I knew the first time we sat down, he was like, I knew you were my son. He was like, after looking at you, after talking to you, after us vibing in our chemistry, he was like, I knew you were my son.
Man, that's crazy, man. Hey, man, y'all give it up, man. Come on, man. Give it up.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about.
And he still talks to me to this day. He texts me. He checks up on me.
Come on now.
And he's in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, you live in
so he's right.
Oh, 2 hours. 2 hours.
Yeah. Easy. Hop and a skip away.
Man, that's amazing.
Yep. I did not meet my dad until I was in my 30s.
Man. What mom has to say about this?
Mom, and my heart goes out to mom because she and my dad were young.
Yeah.
I'm a product of a college summer.
Yeah.
And I say that proudly because the older I've gotten, why sugarcoat it?
Man.
I'm the product of a summer on a college campus. Two young college students having fun, having a good time.
Yeah.
And out comes Truman Fitzgerald.
Yeah. Truman, let me ask you this.
Talk to me.
Did he know about you?
Here's where I fought him to an extent. And I fought my mom to an extent.
Yeah. And it's okay. I mean,
and it's okay.
It is okay.
It's okay because you're talking about 20-year-olds. You're talking about babies.
Yeah, it's okay, man. And sometimes, and let me just say this here before you say anything else. Sometimes, man, it's easy to walk 100 steps into the woods, but it's hard to come out.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So it's, man, because there's a lot of shame and guilt when you have to turn around and come back.
Of course.
You know, not that, and I'm not making an excuse. It's just what it is, man.
It is what it is.
And when you have a lot of shame and guilt of things that you know you should have done, you didn't do, it's not that it's easy for people on social media or people who are around to say what they wouldn't do or what they won't do and how they would have handled it. And some probably would have done it differently. But I'm just talking about it's easy said and done.
That's correct.
That's all I'm saying.
That's correct.
But go ahead, my brother.
And my mom told my dad that, hey, I'm pregnant. This is possibly your child. Right. And I was born. And what happened was, I think that my mom knew how young my dad was.
Right.
And it's really kind of an unselfish thing, but it's also selfish. And she said that she didn't want to affect his life the way that a child would, which as an adult, I look back at that like, I should have probably been more of the, concern.
Yeah.
But I can't fault her because she is a sweetheart and everything she does is from the heart. And in her own way, I know it was out of love.
Yeah. It
may not have been the way I would have handled that, but nothing she did was out of any ill will or evilness.
Man, come on. If it was, and I'm just going to say this, if your mama had any intentions on being vindictive or angry at the fact how things turned out, just angry, it would have been a different turnout.
Completely different turnout.
Yeah. It sounded like she left him alone, let him live his life.
That's right.
It's almost sound like, and I'm probing a little bit, and I'm not trying to, you don't have to answer this, but it sounds like she raised you with her own funds.
I was in a unique situation because I was in a household with a single mother But I never use that as an excuse, and I'll tell you why. Because of two reasons. I had grandparents who spoiled us.
Oh, boy.
I had a second source of income because of our grandparents.
Yes.
I felt the effects sometimes of having a single parent, but I also had that cushion of having grandma and granddad that I can pick up the phone and say, hey, I need
A, B, and C.
A, B, and C. And they were going to do that.
And you know how them grandparents are about their grandkids.
And they did.
Yeah.
I can't use I saw my, mom struck. No, grandma and granddad were always there.
Yeah.
Also, I had a ton of male father figures in my life that stepped up to the plate. These were mainly my coaches. These were mainly friends that I had. Their dads stepped in. You'll never hear me say that I grew up without a father. Yes, I grew up without my biological father, but I've never been one to use that because I don't have a right to say that.
I got you.
There's kids out there that grew up with no one. No male figures.
Absolutely.
I had plenty of male figures.
Absolutely.
In my life.
And it's different when you're talking about male figures. We're talking about good male figures.
Good male figures.
Because it could be some male figures in your life, and they could be just as worse as anybody can be.
That's right.
And so it's a difference. So, man, that's a great story, though, man. That's a great story. And now you and Dad locked in, ATL, boom. Man,
that's it.
Man, that's a great story. I'm going to ask you some more about that.
Please.
But so middle school, you went to Glen Iris Middle School?
Believe it or not, Mom was like, you're not going to a Birmingham City middle school.
Okay.
We moved to Homewood. We moved to Homewood. Went to Homewood Middle School.
Homewood Middle School.
6th through 8th grade.
Wow.
And the funny thing is, my childhood friends, Justin and Jarvis King, shout out to the twins.
The twins.
And Jamiria King and Mama King.
Okay.
They were our next door neighbors when I lived in Glen Iris. We moved to Homewood.
Now,
they moved to Homewood too, randomly. Like they went to maybe 1 year of Birmingham City schools. And then the next thing you know, when we were in 7th and 8th grade, they were over in Homewood.
And so they were with you then and there?
They were with me then and there.
Oh, man.
And those are still my childhood friends and adult friends to this day.
That's awesome.
We products of Glen Iris.
Man.
And so Jarvis King is a Birmingham police officer now. So imagine your childhood friend
is a cop.
Is a Birmingham police officer, like you became.
And we're gonna get into that. Wow, man. So what and during those times, 8th grade, were you a shy kid, outgoing kid? What kind of kid were you?
I was very fortunate and very blessed that I was an athlete. And if I had to describe one word that summarizes me, is I was extremely loving.
Okay.
Extremely loving. I was a people person. I wanted to make everyone laugh. And I joke about this. I didn't experience bullying, nor were we bullies. Right. That wasn't a thing when we were coming up. In fact, you were talked about if you were a bully.
Yeah.
And bullies got bullied in our generation.
Yes.
And I had a very... I struggled in my childhood and it wasn't easy, but I had a very great system around me of friends and peers, and I grew up with a lot of love and a lot of support.
Excellent. When you say you struggled, what kind of struggle, if you will?
Sure.
Yeah.
I struggled mainly, and I still struggle to this day with this problem, is self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know really the cause of it. You have certain traits about yourself. You don't know why they are there. And sometimes you feel guilty because you have every reason not to feel that way.
Yeah.
But growing up, you always, whether it was sports, I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
Whether it was appearance, do I look good enough for this person or that person? Or do I have the right clothes? Do I have, is my house going to be, is it going to be appealing to my friends if I want to invite them over?
Right.
And I'll tell anyone to this day, even as an attorney, I struggle with self-esteem.
Yeah. You know what? I'm glad you mentioned that because, one of the number one things that we all have to understand and be comfortable and learn to be comfortable with. And I think this is where we will kind of get to you. It's the fact that we all have things that we are insecure about. Number one, that's going to be, I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how much little money you have. It's just the way we are. People are. You're going to have things that you're not going to like about yourself. But the number one thing is learning to accept those things and be comfortable with them.
And be comfortable with it. Well said, Mike.
Yeah. And that comes with just saying, hey, the hell with it. I'm serious. No disrespect. You know, I got a lot of churchgoers. I'm like, follow me. But you just got to say, man, hey, the hell with it. It is what it is. And you got to learn to be good with it. You know what I'm saying? Because we all got those things. You just, I know I'm preaching, but I'm not trying to preach. Be comfortable in the skin that you're in. Be comfortable with yourself. Understand that you are aware of your shortcomings. You know this. Now, we can always get better at them, but they there.
They're there.
They there.
And realizing that you can't change Mike Steele.
No.
God made Mike Steele. If Mike Steele is a certain height, he's a certain height.
That's
if
it.
Truman Fitzgerald is a certain height, some things you cannot change.
Yeah, no, you can't change those things, man. And once you come to terms with those things, you will realize that people are gonna love you regardless.
They are.
They're gonna like you regardless,
and they're gonna dislike you regardless. No matter what you do. Somebody and I've always said this: you're born with natural traits that people may not like.
That's it.
And I'll share this with you.
Yes.
And this has just been a personal issue of mine. Okay, like I'm a black man.
That's right.
I've never been anything but a black man.
That's right.
However, my mom is white.
Yeah.
My dad is black.
Yeah.
That causes confusion to many people. And I've dealt with this in my life. Yes. I've had friends that were white that felt like, okay, how do I approach Truman? Because I know he's black.
Yeah.
I've had friends that are black that are like, how can I approach Truman? Because he's got this white side.
Yeah.
As I was growing up.
Yeah.
And of course that I think added to some of the self-esteem issues.
Yeah, it is.
The older I've gotten, it's been amazing.
Yeah.
It's been amazing. But just growing up as a kid, those were some of the issues that I faced having a white mom and a black dad.
Yes.
I actually had a coach one time tell me, he said, I spoke to some people that knew you and they said that your problem is you don't know what race that you are and you don't know who you want to identify as. And I looked that coach right in his face and I said, you tell that person I know exactly who I am. There's no confusion there. And the fact that man would even tell me I had to choose lets you know the issues that we have in our communities.
Yes. Oh my God, man. But I can understand how you as a young person, because when you're young, man, you are struggling with stages of development. Who you are, what you are, how your friends accept you, how your peers how you interact with your peers. You got all these things weighing in on you and you trying to figure this thing out. And I can see how that can be somewhat of an issue. But today, 2026, who is Truman?
I am someone who is purpose-driven. I will tell anyone that I'm purpose-driven. I wake up each and every day to fulfill a purpose. I don't wake up each and every day to achieve materialism.
Yeah.
Now, as a man and as a provider, of course you have to have money on your mind.
Yes.
You have to provide. Alabama Power doesn't care what your purpose is.
That's it. They'll cut them lights off.
Spire doesn't care what your purpose is.
Come on,
they want to know that you have
the means to pay that bill.
means to pay the bill. So I'm not going to sit up here and say I don't focus on money. Yeah. However, I try to be as purpose-driven as I possibly can. Because what I've seen, Mike, is if you're focused on your purpose and you're in the right field, everything else is going to take care of itself.
Come on.
Everything will take care of itself. We're living in a time period where masters of their craft can make a living doing anything.
Yes. Yes.
Anything.
2026 is beautiful. 25, 24, all I mean,
beautiful.
You can be okay. I mean, despite what's going on globally in our society but if you put yourself in the right position, you can be okay.
You can be okay.
Yeah, you can be very okay. Now you mentioned, Truman, that you played sports, man.
I did.
What you played, bro?
I played
middle school. What you play in middle school?
I played basketball. And if I was smart, and yes, Truman, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about middle school Truman.
Middle school
I'm talking
Truman.
about high school Truman.
Yeah, okay.
If you were smart, you would have stuck with baseball.
Yes.
I had everything that someone could dream of as a baseball player. I was left-handed. I could pitch. I could throw pretty good. And I want to say some bad things about myself, but I got to remember that. Some young years. But my dumb self said, you know what? I'm going to be a 5'11" basketball player. And so I stuck with basketball instead of sticking with baseball. So if you got any viewers out here with young men that have a choice between baseball and any other sport, don't give baseball up. Man. Do not give baseball up. I know basketball and football are popular and they're flashy.
That's it right there.
Don't give baseball up.
That's why you did it.
Do not give baseball up.
That's why you did it. and let me be honest. Having not trying to pour salt on the wound here, but if you was a decent baseball players make way more money than basketball players, football players, man.
Easily.
God.
Easily more money.
Yeah.
Easily. And have longer careers.
And you ain't gotta work. Yeah, exactly. You can play baseball till you're 45 years
You
old.
can.
Dang. Okay, so what was you played? You pitched?
I pitched.
Okay.
I pitched and I played outfield because I had a decent arm.
Yeah.
So everything about my...
So literally, I pitched a little bit.
Nice.
And I played center field, right field.
Okay.
I was an outfielder. Yeah, and to let it be known, baseball was the first sport I ever played in my life.
Really?
Yeah. But I'm a football player.
Did you play in Florida?
Yeah, I played in Florida.
And that's major in Florida.
Played in Florida,
major sport in Florida.
Yeah, I love baseball.
Because you could play year round.
Yeah, you can play
baseball year round in Florida.
Year round, baseball year round. Yeah, I was pretty decent. I could have been better if I'd have put more energy in it. But also, just like baseball, football is year round in Florida too.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I'm from South Florida, so South Florida, West Palm Beach, Miami, and Fort Lauderdale. So we got the best weather you can possibly have.
And let's face it, Mike, who wants to choose a sport where you have all the attention, all the flash, everybody's talking about a football game, everybody's talking about a basketball game.
It's hard to resist a football player.
It's hard to resist playing those sports versus baseball where you don't really hear people going to class the next day like, man, did you see Mike make that play?
Man, did you see that triple?
Right field?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you see Mike through guy from the center field? No,
they're not really, it's not a flashy sport.
No. It has no appeal, unless you play it. If you play the game and you understand the game, then you realize that, man, it is, to me, playing baseball, it is a thrill. Running
amazing
the base,
feeling.
Get on the base, run just being involved in the game.
And I will say this, Mike, baseball is such a camaraderie sport.
Oh, yeah.
Because, basketball is loud. There's a lot going on. There's not much downtime. Football is the same way.
Yeah.
Baseball, you're in the dugout with your teammates.
You're hanging out. You eating what they call
the
sunflower
seeds. And it's just like you're chilling with your buddies.
Yeah.
And you just happen to play a sport.
Yeah.
It has a social reward to it that no other sport can compete with.
You can't do that in no other sport. You can't come in the outfield. Come in from on defense, come in and sit down and kind of like talk about what happened
out there.
Yeah.
Basketball, you start talking on the sidelines. Coaches go, hey, be quiet.
Yeah, exactly.
Football, maybe because there's so many players, nobody's paying attention.
But not like that.
But not like that.
Not
like that.
You can in football, but you ain't going because you always constantly in base.
And it's moving.
Yeah.
Football's moving.
Yeah. That's a good point, Truman. So, man, you played you played baseball, basketball, and not. Did you play in high school?
I went to Ramsey High School. Transferred back into Birmingham City Schools.
Which is a great school.
My number one reason for going to Ramsey was to play basketball. That was the school to go to play basketball. And I can remember when I got accepted into Ramsey, you would have thought I got accepted into the University of Alabama or the University of Auburn.
No.
Like, that was everything for me. And it was also a culture shock. Because here I had went to Homewood Middle School my 6th, 7th, and 8th grade year, and now I'm transitioning back into Birmingham City Schools. I'm wearing uniforms. I'm around more predominantly Black students, my peers. And so it was never a culture shock because I was a member of the culture. However, it was
different.
It was different. It was different. It was different. You went from a diverse class to I'm with 90+% Black students.
Yeah, Black students. Now, mind you, for the people who are not from Birmingham, Ramsey it's a great school. I think you have to test to get in.
Do.
Yeah. And it's like one of the, no disrespect to any Birmingham City schools, because we do a high school podcast. Another friend of mine, we do a high school sports podcast. And we've had coaches on from all over, but it just appears to be, in my opinion, one of the better schools in Birmingham. One of the better schools.
And it's excelled over the years. It's even more prestigious now than when I went.
That's funny because when you was in school at Ramsey, I was working down the street in a group home.
Wow.
Down the street. I know for a fact because I worked this place for a while. Yeah, you was in school down there. You was at Ramsey in the early 2000s.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. And I can tell you some surreal moments at Ramsey that really reminded me that although you at a Birmingham City school, you realize that, okay, yes, you might be going to the Ramsey High School, but nobody really cared about that. Towards the end of class, every day, we had PE.
Okay.
And this was so many years ago, it doesn't matter. So we would get guys all throughout the Birmingham City schools that would come to Ramsey. You're talking Inslee High School, Weston High School, all the Birmingham City schools would come to Ramsey. And when I tell you those kids were like rock stars, because we're nerds to our classmates. They're like, what do I want with him? He's a nerd. But Mike that goes to Inslee or Mike that goes to West End,
I come.
They like, ooh, he kind of, ooh. I know if we ever got into it, like he got my back, Truman probably gonna run. He gonna run across the street to South Precinct. I know Mike from Inslee, he gonna be like, what's up? Cause I was not about that life at Ramsey. I can remember so many times when I just would hear argue. I'm like, oh, time to go. Time to go. Time to go.
Now,
I was not with that. I'm still not with that. I'm still not with that.
But you know what? That's funny that you mentioned that because, but that being understanding of that, it's the very thing that keeps you safe, though. You know, some people who think they about that, no disrespect, but I'm just saying, man, that could potentially land you in a situation where you don't want to be in.
Mike,
it's okay to not be about that. And this is a message that we send to the kids, man. Hey, don't be about that.
Mike, I can tell you throughout my career as a Birmingham police officer, throughout my career as a public information officer, I can't tell you how many times somebody's name would come up as a suspect, whether they were the shooter, whether they were a killer. In a few weeks later, a few months later, maybe even a few years later, they were the victim. There's always somebody bigger and badder than you. There's always somebody bigger and badder than you.
Man, that is a sad thing. And we're gonna when I get to that portion, we'll talk a little bit about that. But that is a great synopsis of what you just said, man. It's always somebody bigger and badder than you. So while you out here thinking you the booger man, it's another booger man around the corner.
And in today's world, people are out here with nothing to lose. And they're carrying themselves like they have nothing to lose. I don't mind pulling up on you.
That's crazy.
Letting off rounds in traffic. I don't mind shooting up your house.
Man,
that's how the streets have proven that.
Yeah, man.
And I don't care who's in your house when I shoot it up.
That is crazy. After high school, bro. After Ramsey, you graduated from Ramsey.
Interesting story. I went to Ramsey my freshman, sophomore, junior year.
Okay.
Got into it with my basketball coach.
Okay.
Part, my fault as well. Left Ramsey, went to John Carroll.
Oh, man.
Later graduated from John Carroll.
Okay, John Carroll, man, that's another private school.
I'm bougie. I went to Ramsey and I went to John Carroll.
That man went to Ramsey. He went to the best public high school in Birmingham. And then he go to a private school, John Carroll.
I was bougie.
Yeah.
Cavaliers. The Cavaliers. Some of my friends, they went to J.O. and Inslee, and they got these tough war stories. Yeah. And I'm like, I went to Ramsey, right across the street from a police station. I went to a private Catholic school next to Chick-fil-A.
Hey, but here's the thing. If you can go, why not? If you go and get that experience, why not?
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, if you can afford it too, why not?
Why not?
It ain't no knock on anything else, but it's not even a knock on going to a Birmingham City school. If a parent say she believes or he believes that my son can get this from this setting, then who's the knocking?
Who's the knocking?
Who's the knock that? So man. Look, so you graduated from?
I graduated from John Carroll.
Did you play basketball there?
I did. Okay. I did.
They also got a good basketball team too.
We made it to the state championship game my senior year. We played against Williamson High School, and anyone that's familiar with Williamson High School, that's Jamarcus Russell's old high school.
I did not know that. Okay.
Williamson High School from Mobile.
But from Mobile.
And I just knew we were going to win that game. We were up. We were the better team. We didn't win because we got ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
And we were celebrating early. And we lost. Wow. And I point that out because, Mike, I didn't realize how much that loss has affected me and affected the trajectory of my life as an adult. I still think that losing that state championship game my senior year has affected me now, and it affects the way that I approach what I do. Because losing that state championship game and knowing what it feels like to fail has sparked a fire in me that is just unbeatable. And I tell people all the time, I'm not somebody who is obsessed with winning. You hear stories about Michael Jordan and athletes like, oh, he's so obsessed with winning and she's so obsessed with winning. It's not that I'm obsessed with winning that makes me who I am. I hate failure. I despise failure. In fact, I probably hate failing more than winning. The winners love winning. And that's what sparks me.
You know who said that? I think Lou Holtz said that.
Really?
Yeah, that he hate losing more than he hate winning.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm so sensitive. I'm so sensitive, Mike, that even when I win, I feel kind of bad a little bit because I'm like, oh, this person lost. Like I'm thinking all kind of other things. My only fear with anything I do is failing someone. My only fear is failing someone.
I can relate to that because one of the things that it's a letdown to fail somebody, and that means to me, what I gather from that means that you care about how you are treating others.
That's right.
You care about, even in your law practice, if you hold on, that's a core value. If you hold on to that kind of core value, that means that if someone entrusting you to do the work and you feel like if I don't do the work, I'm going to fail them, then they're going to get the best possible service from you.
And if I can be candid with you, Mike, that adds to a ton of the mental health pressure and mental health strain on me as an attorney. And I can open up and share that with that fear of failing my client has added to a ton of mental stress.
I can believe that,
You
man.
do not know what it is like when policing is different.
Yeah.
And I can say that when you police, you have a support system around you.
Yeah.
You have teammates. You
Yeah.
have backup.
Yeah.
When you step across that stage and accept that oath to be an attorney, it's one-on-one. That client is entrusting everything in your hands. It's on you, Truman. What are you going to do for my case? Yes, I've got a law partner. Yes, I can call mentors and friends. However, everything falls on you, and you have that person's whole entire personal injury case. You have their whole entire criminal case, which involves their life and their freedom. All of that is in your hands, and they've trusted you. Out of 19,000 attorneys in the state of Alabama, they've trusted you. That's where the pressure comes in. That's where the pressure lies, is this person's putting their entire life in your hands.
We're gonna move right on to that in a second, because that is, man, I can see how that could play on your mental health. And bro, and I hate to say this, better you than me, man. I mean, because just being just being an attorney alone, and then you invested and care so much about what you're doing, and you don't want to let these because I could just think about that on a much lower level, how I'm stressed in doing some of the things that I do, but you got somebody's life in your hands, you know.
And Mike, on the criminal defense side, I've seen the policing side. I've seen the criminal defense side. I'll tell you this: the odds are stacked against you on that criminal defense side.
But
they are stacked against you.
Truman, we're gonna hey. So let me just go here first, then I'm gonna go and take you through here. So you went to college where?
I went to Lawson State Community College. And
hey man, I love
UAB.
Lawson.
I love Lawson. Lawson changed my life. I was at UAB.
Yeah.
My only goal at UAB was to party as much as I could, and to go to Club Continental as much as I could. For those that
if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. That was my goal, was to party as much as I could, and to go to Club Continental as much as I could. Club Ice occasionally. Yes, I was in Club Ice, which is now Playhouse.
Yeah.
So I was in Playhouse before Playhouse was Playhouse.
Okay.
And what changed my view on education was I ended up transferring to Lawson State after my freshman year of college at UAB.
Yeah.
I was at Lawson State. Anyone who's familiar with Lawson State knows there's a bus stop right in front of Lawson State.
Yes.
And also Lawson State had night classes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was going to Lawson State Community College. My classmates were catching the bus to go to school. My classmates were fathers and wives and husbands and mothers, and they were leaving their job, coming to school. And here I am, a 19-year-old kid. I've got no responsibilities. I've got nothing in this world that keeps me from going to class. And I've got classmates that are sacrificing their entire lives to get their education.
I can imagine that plays some type of role. You kind of look at things a little different.
Lit a fire in me.
Wow.
Going to Lawson State lit a fire in me. And it just so happens around that same time was the same. I was 19 years old. It was the same exact time I fell in love with policing. And I went back to UAB on a mission. Enrolled in the criminal justice program at UAB.
Yes.
And my sole focus was to become a Birmingham police officer.
Really?
That was my sole focus.
Wow. And so Lawson State went there, kind of said, hey, man, I got to get myself together.
I owe it to my classmates.
Yeah, exactly. And your criminal justice at UAB, and that Did you always have police on the mind, or it was just
always?
Always.
I always wanted to be a Birmingham police officer. That was my reason for going to criminal justice school. When I was in the summer of 2010, I was going into a junior year. The criminal justice program at UAB introduced me to my first law course, Judicial Process in America. Fell in love with that class.
Being a lawyer wasn't really anything that you wanted to do.
I knew I wanted to be a police officer.
Yeah.
That self-esteem issue I talked about.
Yeah.
I can't be an attorney. You got to be smart to do that.
Yeah.
You got to pass the bar exam.
Yeah.
You don't. Yeah. I'm struggling if I even got what it takes to be a police officer. Okay. And that's where that self-esteem plays into that.
Yeah.
However, I took that first legal course, Judicial Process in America, summer of 2010.
Yeah.
And Mike, I fell in love.
Yeah.
You're talking, it's the summertime. I'm young.
Yeah.
I've got freedom.
Yeah.
And I'm running home each and every day to open that law book. And I'm excited to read that law book. That's how much of a love that I had for that class. And after that, I knew.
Yeah, you must have liked it because it had to be something inside that book to intrigue you to say, I want to read this, because you got time on your hand. Either you can read or do whatever you want to do.
Do whatever you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I'd rather spend that time reading law.
Yeah.
And I knew then that, you know what, this law course it bit me. That bug bit me.
You. Yeah.
I said, this is something that I want to pursue.
Yeah.
I want to pursue. And then you couple that with just a few months later into 2011, I got hired on to the Birmingham Police Department.
Were you still in school at the time?
I was still in school. I was still in undergrad, and I actually dropped out of UAB to become a Birmingham police officer. And while I was in the Birmingham Police Academy,
you went back to school?
I went back to school and I got exposed to law again because you have to study all the codes of Alabama.
That's right. You got to
study
aware.
The driving laws, and you have to take a legal exam.
Yeah.
That is when I knew. I said, I'm going to be an attorney. I have to be an attorney.
Yeah.
I love this so much.
Too much. Not to be. Okay. So while you at Birmingham, while you're a cop, you go back to school, get your bachelor's.
I do.
Right.
It took me almost 9 years to get my bachelor's degree. What? I started in 2008, and I graduated towards the end of 2016. So it almost took me 9 years. I was a little bit over 8 years to get my bachelor's degree.
But during that time, you also working as a police officer.
I was working full-time as a police officer.
So, man, come on. Let me do this again for you because I don't think people understand the magnitude of what you just said. But I'm understanding that you started your undergrad at when? Again.
I started my undergrad in January of 2008. And I was 19. I was 19 years old, around 19 years old when I started.
It took you roughly 9 years to get your bachelor's degree.
Almost 9 years to get my bachelor's degree.
In the midst of working and being a police officer and just really trying to find your way.
That's it.
But you made it.
I made it.
Come on, man. Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
By the grace of God.
Because sometimes, man, what I'm hearing from this whole thing, what I understand from this whole thing is there is no quit in you, bro.
None.
And that's big, man. So we could talk about how long did it took, or you didn't finish in 4 years or 5 years. We could talk about those things, but we could also have another conversation about you started but you didn't finish. One of the key things in life, and one of the things that I hold so dear to me in my walk through life in general, and what makes me successful, I'm not saying I'm the richest, I'm not saying I'm the best, I'm not saying I'm the smartest, but that intrinsic motivation to keep going, what makes me who I am. I never stopped anything that I started.
That's it.
Ever. When I look back over my life, Truman, when I look back over my life and I say, man, how you end up here? Because people said I wasn't gonna have 1 degree. I got 3.
Wow.
People said I wasn't gonna, they said I wasn't gonna finish high school. I finished high school. I mean, I had a lot of things when you understand my story. Had a lot of things that was stacked against me, but through the grace of God, I made it through. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
And when I look back over my life and I start piecing things together, and I said, Mike, you ain't the smartest, and that's okay. But you never stop, bro. You never stop anything that you started. When people say, Mike, how you did A, B, and C, and my only claim to fame and my only response to them is, I never stopped. So my thing to anybody that's listening right now, if you stop dreaming, stop living, stop pushing toward your goal, then you won't finish because you stopped. So as long as you moving forward and you keep your head down, then it's light at the end of the tunnel. That's all I'm saying.
The old folks used to say, take one class at a time, young man. Take one. And before you know it, you're looking up and your counselor's telling you, all right, son, you need to be looking at graduation. It's like, wait, what?
Wow. Man, I made it here.
I made it here?
Oh, man. So that's it, bro. That's it, man. So come on, man. Let me get on to this. Let's get on to this thing, man. So grad school. You went to grad school.
One of my motivating factors for finishing UAB was I knew I wanted to go to law school.
Okay.
You can't go to law school without a bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
I finished UAB in 2016, and by the fall of 2017, I enrolled in Birmingham School of Law, which is one of the best law schools in Alabama if you plan on staying in Alabama.
Yes, sir.
Go to Birmingham School of Law.
Yeah.
Save your money. Go to Birmingham School of Law. They're going to produce a great legal scholar and a great attorney out of you. That's Birmingham School of Law.
It's another one of my good friends that went to Birmingham School of Law, and she talked highly, or she spoke highly of Birmingham School of Law. And that is the president of Miles College. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Dr. Knight.
Yeah. I had on, she was sitting right, well, no, she didn't make it in the studio. She, I had on the show.
Wow.
And we talked, man, and it was a great conversation, one that we're having now, just like that. And she told me she went to Birmingham School of Law.
Look at that.
Shout out to Birmingham Miles College, Bobby Knight. President, Madam Bobby Knight. Shout out. It was a great conversation. So, in a nutshell, you there. And your mind is on becoming a lawyer. But also, my understanding why you were going to school and getting your law degree, you still a cop.
I sure was.
You were still a cop.
I sure was. I was a full-time patrol officer while I was in law school.
Wow.
I was a full-time patrol officer. What I would do was So
you was on the road?
That's my heart, and my passion is the streets. I'd never stop working patrol. So I was a full-time patrol officer when I was in law school. And what I did was, and this is the beauty of Birmingham School of Law. Birmingham School of Law has Saturday classes. Oh, and what I would do, Mike, was I would study a few hours Monday through Wednesday. My off days were Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I went to class on Saturday. I would study a few hours Monday through Wednesday. And then Thursday and Friday were spent 100% on law. We're talking 6-7 hours a day. Then I would turn around and go to class on Saturdays. And I just repeated the cycle each week. And from 2017 to 2020, I was at Birmingham School of Law and I graduated. February of 2021, I sat for the bar exam.
Okay.
And by the grace of God, I passed the bar exam.
First time.
First time.
And look now, guys. Let me just say this. Here's a guy that doubted himself, man. At some point in time, we all do. Let me just be clear.
I didn't think I was going to pass the bar. That's how much doubt I had.
Yeah, and passed the bar first time around. I'm gonna give you some more flowers, brother.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah. Hey, come on now.
Thank you, Mike.
Man, these people's hands gonna be sore. Can't clap it. Man, because I admire that though, man. Young brother, you know. I hope this conversation kind of like man, you worth it.
It really is a situation, Mike, where if I can do it, anyone can do it.
Yeah.
If I can do it, coming up from the childhood I had, from the doubt, from the self-esteem issues I've had, from the things I've had to maneuver in my life, if I can do that, anyone can do that.
Yeah.
Anyone can do that. Whatever it is, it may not be law. It could be whatever dream you have.
Whatever dream you have.
If you stay the course.
That's what I'm talking about.
You have to stay the course. If you stay the course, you got this.
If you stay the course, you got this. So now, you pass the bar, you're officer. Now, but your motivation for being a cop was?
My motivation for being a police officer was to be a patrol officer. That was the number one reason why I became a Birmingham police officer, was to be a patrol officer. I never saw myself ever being anything but a patrol officer.
Word.
In fact, they used to pass these sheets around early in my career. And on the sheets, they wanted to know what you wanted to do in the future. And me being adrenaline and just so pro patrol, I would write on there, my number one goal for my future is to retire as a patrol officer. That's how pro patrol I was. And I put on those career sheets, my goal is to be the best patrol officer. My goal is to retire from patrol. And I used to put that on all my career development worksheets. And that's why when I transitioned to the public information office, people were like, wait, what? You're leaving patrol?
Yeah.
Not you.
Yeah.
Not the man who said he's never going to leave patrol. But it was time to go, Mike. It was time to leave patrol. It was time to leave.
That's one thing about being in corrections, man. You know, you can really find yourself. I worked in corrections, not like that though, but not like that. I worked in juvenile corrections, I was a mental health counselor.
It was time to go. They were making us do roadblocks at that time. And I was anti-road. You are not going to tell me to write my citizens and my community members any tickets that I do not, and you're not going to punish me for not writing those tickets. And those roadblocks became mandatory. And that option and opportunity came available to transition out of patrol. And I said, you know what? I don't have it in me to do these roadblocks and to you don't go after the citizens, and I left.
Yeah, but you don't have to answer to this, but those roadblocks are in place in these cities, and especially small towns, to bring revenue back into the town.
Municipal court in general is a money generator.
Yeah.
It's a money generator.
Yes, sir.
I practice municipal law.
Yeah.
Most of the transactions that take place are geared towards money. Most of the deals, most of the fines, most of the penalties and punishments are geared towards money.
But you know what, Truman, I don't think that's a secret though.
And it's not a secret.
Yeah, I don't think we talking like, me. I'm like, no, man, but it's not a secret, because if you go into there and if you got these fines and you did something that land you there, you got to pay your way out of it.
You
basically.
Do.
You know, so it ain't like it's a secret. They like, hey, yeah, we got you. Dead to right. You're going to either do A, B, and C, and we need A, B, and C from you, and these are the fines that you need to pay. And if you don't pay them, they give you time to pay them too.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, they're going to give you some time to pay them. Now, if you delinquent, if they find you, you deliberately not trying to pay it, then you could probably land yourself in another situation.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
But they're going to give you time to pay that money because they want that money. And if they got 1,000 folks doing the same thing, which it could be way more than that, could be less. But yeah, so it's not a secret.
It's not.
It's not a secret. Now, being an officer, I don't want to. What is as a patrol officer one of your most difficult tasks you experience?
One of the most difficult tasks as a patrol officer would definitely be responding to calls where family members have learned they lost their loved one.
Oh boy,
You never
get used to that.
Never get used to that. You never get used to that. You never get used to seeing. And the same thing was when I went to the public information office. That was one of the most difficult times, is to see that family member that has learned you're never going to see your loved one again. You will never see your loved one ever again. And just you hear
Do you
those
find yourself
screams,
empathizing with that? Like maybe even just shedding a tear at some point in time.
You cry on scenes. You get emotional.
Yeah. Because being a man is one thing. Being a man, it's okay to be like, oh man, I'm so sorry, Miss Johnson, Miss Smith, and you just see that lady just dang on faint because of that.
Mm-hmm. And here's someone who's raised a life for 25 years, 35 years.
Yeah.
That's been her
best
friend.
Hey, that come on now. You speak, because at the end of the day, I don't care how big Chance get.
Mm-hmm.
He's still gonna be your baby.
He's still gonna be my baby.
Yeah, he's still gonna be. That's how your mom see you too. And this is what I always tell people when they got people they won't see. That's how, when you got people struggling with drug addiction, and people are like how parents see their kids. You understand what I'm saying? They see their kids and their loved ones as that baby. I don't care how big they get, how old they get, still the baby. But now Birmingham has not so much of a negative viewpoint on how things in Birmingham are done. Not even that. And maybe let me reframe that question. Some people may see Birmingham as one of the most with a high murder rate. How do you what do you think about that? I'm sorry, I can't even get that question out like I want to. Bro.
I would tell anyone, Birmingham is one of the best cities that you can live in. And I'll tell you why. The majority of your crimes, you're talking your violent crimes.
Yes.
And here's what used to upset me when people would talk about our city.
Good.
The chances of suspect knowing victim and vice versa are high.
Yes.
You rarely have random violence in Birmingham. Does that happen? Of course. People are getting caught in the crossfire, mass shootings. But your average violent incident is someone knew the other person. It was a neighborhood beef. It was domestic related. It was sibling related. It was family related. That person knew their attacker. And that's what gets me about Birmingham.
Absolutely.
If you mind your business and stick to yourself, and you aren't out here, and this is nothing against any of our sisters and brothers who have lost their life that has been doing nothing, because there's so many victims like that.
Yes.
However, it went back to what I was telling you about.
Yeah.
I know a lot of shooters that have been shot.
Yes.
I know a lot of killers who have been killed. What you involve yourself in the city of Birmingham has a major effect on your safety.
Yeah.
There's very little random violence.
I
in
agree
Birmingham.
with that. Yeah. And I'm glad I'm glad you connected those dots, because that's important. And that is a true statement. I believe if you're in certain environments, then that comes with the territory. Yeah. Because like what you're saying, and you're way more credible than I'll ever be. But from an outsider looking in, That's how I always felt about Birmingham.
And how could you not? If you're turning on the news, let's just say you live in North Alabama. I live in Decatur or Athens. And I'm turning on the news every day, and my local news station is covering an incident from Birmingham. All I hear is person shot and killed in Birmingham, Alabama. Most of your news stations, especially if if that's not a local story, meaning if I'm in Decatur and this is a Birmingham story, that may not go into much details. It may not say, well, oh, by the way, this person knew this person. These people had it on. They're not going to provide those extra details.
Well, it's going to make it hypersensitive anyway,
And that's why details matter with crime reporting.
Well, also too, man, let's keep it 1,000 too. Sometimes when you're reporting, man, I mean, you want people to watch your news. So why not just play on, you it's not like they lying, it's just not telling the whole truth.
They're not telling the whole truth.
Yeah. So, and that keeps people like on the edge of their seat. And they looking like, oh boy, what that happened in Birmingham today? They don't care because Johnny retaliated on Bill because Bill killed his brother last week, which is a beef, but they want to know like what's going on. So, what's your assessment? How many years you worked there?
I worked a little over 14 and a half years
14 and a half
for the Birmingham
years.
Police Department.
Dang, man. Hey, well, you put some time in.
I did. I walked away from a lot of time.
But you had 5 more years, though.
I did.
You could have had boy, anyway.
Mike give me that dad talk. Boy, you could have had your pitching. You could have had your pitching.
Hey, definitely. Hey. So let me ask you this.
Talk to me.
What's your assessment? Like you've been there. You worked under Chief Pickett.
I've worked under 3 police chiefs exclusively as far as they were my chain of command.
Okay.
I worked under Patrick Smith, who is our chief from LAPD. I worked directly under LAPD? He retired from LAPD.
Wow.
I worked directly under Chief Scott Thurman, who is now the chief of police for the University of Alabama, Tuscaloosa. And I worked directly under Chief Michael Pickett, who is now the chief of Birmingham.
Yes. And that's the last chief you worked up under.
That's the last chief I worked under.
And what's your assessment of him? I mean, like, seemed like he's a mile in, Chief Pickett. I done called you about 3-4 times. Go ahead.
I think he has completely changed the criminal mindset in Birmingham. He has put a fear in the criminals. He has arrested the criminals, and he has single-handedly, with the help of his officers and his staff, decreased crime in Birmingham.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that during the election time, where crime was down tremendously, which is good to see. But let's back to what we said. It is an element of crime in all cities. It's just what it is. But big ups to him and his team on taking a stance on crime that have happened in these communities that we're talking about, these beefs. Yeah.
And the neighborhood beefs were the cause of so many of our shootings.
Yeah. You
have groups that, I know exactly where you're going to be at. You're going to be hanging on the corner at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
The young folks
easy to find.
Come on. They say pull up.
Pull up.
They say pull up, man. Pull up. I'm a scrap. I hope you come with your people. Man, these people
crazy.
These young folks is crazy, man. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mike. For your listeners that are late 90s and 2000s, they are different.
They're different.
They're different.
Man.
They're different.
Boy, man, come on. Speak
They
on
are
it.
different.
Man,
they are different.
So we spoke about, bro. We spoke about you leaving some money on the table. Why you resign?
I got to the point where I didn't feel like I was on a team. And here I was for the past 14 years, and specifically the last 5 years, where I'm sacrificing time away from my family. I'm sacrificing my mental health. And everything that I did was for the betterment of the Birmingham Police Department. It was for the team.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw the transition of leadership and the new administration came in, I felt like much of what they were doing was for themselves. And I did not feel like we were a team anymore. And so what I did was I made that assessment that, Truman, you are not the employee that you used to be. And you have went through some experiences that you obviously cannot get over.
Yeah.
And so what really motivated me to leave was I knew I had this passion and this love for law. I was also sacrificing my career as an attorney to be a member of the Birmingham Police Department's team. And when I felt that I was sacrificing more than I was gaining by being a member of the Birmingham Police Department, I said, you know what? How about you think about walking away? And I made that leap of faith and I walked away. And then I have some regrets, but I also have a ton of proud moments.
Right.
And I have a ton of reassuring moments that let me know that, okay, you did the right thing.
Wow. Man, that takes some guts to do that. Takes some guts to talk about some of your relationships you made along the way at the Birmingham Police Department. I'm sure you got great relationships.
I was very fortunate that I had a great relationship with the community. And I've reaped the benefit of that as an attorney because most of my clients that are coming in with an already built trust for me, because they look at it like, okay, you are an officer, you are a public information officer. Yes. I know what to expect out of you. And I have someone that I know that I can hold accountable. Versus maybe an attorney that they don't know. It's just like, well, she or he can just run back and live life like they were previously living. And for me, it's just, I know this person that's calling me. I can't afford to mistreat them.
Yes.
They know where to find me. They know my circle. They know your name is everything.
Yes, your name
in the profession of law.
Yeah.
You definitely lose that.
Yeah.
It's over with.
Yeah.
It's over with.
Yeah. You definitely mud.
It goes back to those thousands and thousands and thousands of attorneys that people have options to choose. If you get any stain on your name in the field of law, it's over with.
Now, Truman, the lawyer, the attorney, man, you are a criminal defense attorney.
Mike, I like to describe it. Everything I did as a police officer, I've found a way to use those skill sets as an attorney. Criminal defense, because I answer criminal calls.
Yeah.
Personal injury, because I completed accident reports.
Yeah.
And accident incident reports.
Okay.
And I use everything that I learned as a police officer to benefit my clients.
Right. So, now, but I don't... Well, at one point in time, you were patrolling, not necessarily looking at people in jail, but you were patrolling. Sometimes you probably had to arrest somebody.
You had to arrest people.
Yeah, yeah. And now you keeping people out of jail.
You probably have a question that most people have, and that is, how does a police officer even have an interest to become a criminal defense attorney? And I tell people all the time, Constitution.
Yeah.
United States Constitution.
Yeah.
Following the rules.
And due process.
Due process. Treating people the way they want to be treated. And if I can say anything about myself, and it's almost to pat myself on the back, if I was a horrible police officer, if I didn't respect people's rights the way I did, people would be coming out the woodwork. Like, oh, that's the guy that did this. Nobody could say that. Because from day one, since I became a police officer, I always had the United States Constitution in mind. I always had people's rights in mind.
Yes.
I was actually one of the most outspoken police officers for others' rights.
Yeah. And you have to be.
You have to be.
You have to be, because I mean, number one, it's the right thing to do.
It's the right thing to do.
Number two, man, if you mistreat people, man, you gotta understand that some of these folks that you mistreat, they can come back for you.
They can.
You know, and they respect the fact that you upholding the law, which you will and you should, but you're not within your boundaries. You're gonna treat them with all respect, and people. They remember that.
That's all the community. That's all the community wants. Every woman and every man just wants to be treated with respect. That's all they want.
So let me play this video real quick. All right.
I have a personal connection to any case where I can represent the underdog. I've been an underdog my entire life. I've been through separate episodes throughout the chapters of my life where I've had people that were more powerful or were in positions of authority and looked at me as though I was smaller than them. And it took my perseverance. It took me being strong to overcome those individuals. Each and every day that I get the opportunity to represent a client, that's an opportunity for me to be their protector. I love standing up against people who think they're more powerful than the next. And I love situations where you can fight the bully through the power and weapon of law.
That was all you, bud. But you said something that kind of resonated with me. You referred to yourself as the underdog. Why?
I have always had to stand up for myself since a child.
Mm-hmm.
Being a person who was an athlete, most of my conflicts and conflict resolutions that I had to get past and overcome were with coaches.
Mm.
We talked about
Yeah.
my experience at Ramsey High School.
Mm-hmm.
I had a coach, didn't care for him.
Yeah.
We had issues with each other.
Yeah.
I learned early on what happens when you in authority don't mesh well. I learned early on what happens when people abuse their authority.
Mm.
And I feel as though since my childhood, I've always had a reoccurring relationship with people who want to abuse their authority and abuse their power.
I got you.
And that's where my passion comes in for being an attorney. That's where my passion comes in for criminal defense and personal injuries, because both areas deal with entities that are bullies.
Yeah.
On the criminal defense, you have the prosecution side, whether it be the prosecutor herself or the police officer. On the personal injury side, insurance companies think you are nothing.
Yeah.
Your life is nothing to them. You're a number to them.
Yeah. And why you pay all that money to the system.
And that's why you pay all that money to the system. And you're just a number. We're billionaires.
Yeah. Exactly.
You're nothing to us.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm able to use those life experiences as an underdog in the practice of law. And it fuels me each and every day.
Well, thank God, man. With the passion that you have, I can't see why. You put a lot of pressure on yourself because you got so much passion. Are you the only attorney in your family?
I am. I'm the only attorney in my family. My number one goal is to create a generation of attorneys within my family. I would love to see many of the Fitzgerald lineage become attorneys. I have a few attorney families that I look up to and I respect. Like, wow, dad's practicing, mom's practicing, daughters, and
I know a few families that are Caucasian that are like that. Yeah,
the Morgans are like that.
Yeah,
I mean, gosh, there's a million Morgans, and they put everyone in that family is an attorney.
And some people say, hey, you should allow your kids to make their own decisions. You should do this. But ain't nothing, in my opinion, and it's nothing wrong, in my opinion. Now, guys that are listening and the folks that are probably going to get on me for this, there's nothing wrong with helping your kids make decisions.
Nothing wrong.
And shaping them to be in a career path. People do it all the time, I'm just saying that because I've had some conversations where some folks, I got some pushback from that, but ain't nothing wrong with little man being a lawyer, seeing his dad. And most of the time, kids do kind of like what one of their parents are doing.
Of course.
Maybe not both, but if both are doing the same thing, sometimes you if you got 3 kids, one may be a lawyer, one may be a mental health counselor, one may be a school teacher. You know, they figure out things that their mom and dad are doing, and they say, hey man, you know, if you got 3, like I said, somebody may fall into the footsteps. But ain't nothing wrong with saying, hey, I mean, I wouldn't mind having my kids take on my family business, you know. So yeah, I like that. I like that. You specialize in criminal law. Also, you're doing accident too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I investigated accidents as a police officer. I'm familiar with the reports. I've completed hundreds of accident reports, and I've seen a great benefit from that when I'm assessing cases, because I know where the facts are in the reports. I know how to pull those facts out quickly.
Yeah.
I know what the rules of the road are.
Yeah.
And
have you dealt with any? You've been practicing for 5 years, right?
I've been licensed for 5 years.
Okay, how long have you been practicing?
I've only been practicing for about 8 to 9 months.
Okay, so you've been licensed, and the whole time, how long has it been since you resigned from the?
We are coming up almost on 1 month since I resigned from the Birmingham Police Department. It's almost been 1 month.
So
I resigned on January 14th.
But prior to your resignation, you was getting into your law field. You like, okay, I'm gonna start practicing.
In July of last year, I started practicing law. That's when I went out there and said, I'm putting everything that I have into law.
Okay. And so you resigned, and boom, now you left with this.
And then in January, I went 100% full time.
This is your sole source of income right now.
My only source of income, minus significant other.
Yeah.
That's my only source of income.
Right.
This is it. This is all I have.
Yeah, so you don't roll the dice now.
Roll the dice.
You roll the dice and you betting on you.
Forget a casino, Mike. You ever gambled on yourself?
Yeah, exactly. But that's what makes us us. If you got to be able to bet on you and step out on faith and say, hey man, I'm gonna make it happen. But I tell you this, if you wouldn't have done this, then you probably be still in a situation.
I would be.
Yeah. So being uncomfortable is what you have to do in order to achieve the things that you want to achieve in law.
The way I look at it, Mike, is when you work for someone else, you are investing in the stock market. Yes, you can have a great return.
Yeah.
You may have no return.
Mm-hmm.
However, your sole future is out of your hands. When you start your own, you create your own business, you become your own employer and employee. It's like owning real property. It may do great, it may not do great, but no matter what, you can reach out and control it.
Yeah.
You can grab it. You can walk into that house.
Yeah.
You have a say-so. That control at times is worth everything. It's worth everything. That freedom and control is worth everything.
What's a day like for you? Like a day in the life of Truman Fitzgerald.
You wake up and that phone starts ringing from the second you wake up until the second you go to sleep. And your mind is on every task that you need to complete to help your clients.
Do you sleep well at night? Because I can almost guarantee that you got things in your head that you know you got to get done tomorrow, swimming along in your head while you're trying to get some sleep.
You never stop thinking about your clients. You never stop thinking about what you need to do or what you possibly didn't do.
Yeah.
One thing that I do love about the practice of law, it gives you motivation to wake up every day.
Yeah.
It gives you motivation to wake up each and every day.
Yeah. When you see your friends, they know you now. They say, hey, I mean, you, of course, one of your goals to be a patrol officer for the duration. And man, ain't nothing wrong with that. That is a great career choice. But what do your friends say to you now, knowing that you are an attorney? They look at you like, Oh, there go that big shot.
My friends are still shocked that I walked away from policing because they know how much I love.
But anybody
being
know
a police
you the way
officer.
you talked about policing, they probably like, man, that man is a.
They can't believe it.
Yeah.
However, I do think they enjoy seeing me in a different light and seeing me in a different realm. And one thing I can brag about being an attorney is it's a very impactful career.
Mm-hmm.
You can make a difference.
Yes.
You can make a difference being a police officer.
Yeah.
You can change lives being an attorney.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most of our everyday society has been shaped by attorneys, whether we realize it or not.
Yeah.
Some of the labels on your products.
Yeah. Yeah. Patent.
The caution on the coffee cup.
Yeah. Yeah. I can imagine. But we don't look at it as that under that kind of microscope though.
I didn't realize it until law school how much of an effect law has on society.
Yeah.
Most of what we do and the way that we function and organize ourselves and coordinate ourselves, it's been shaped by the legal system.
Yeah.
Whether it be on the criminal side or the civil side.
Wow. Yeah. Man. So have you ever came across someone that you had to lock up and then provide some type of service to? Yeah.
That's a great question. Have I ever had a client
that you probably had to put handcuffs on?
I have had potential clients that wanted me to represent them, knowing I was the public information officer in their case. Yeah. That's been humbling, but it's also been kind of troubling because it's like, I can't work your case, my friend. I know everything that the defense knows. That I know everything that the defense wants to know because I had the inside scoop. Like I can't do that's illegal, unethical. And they still have asked me, like, hey, I know you with such and such. Like, I'm humble that you asked me.
That is flattering.
But it's flattering.
Yeah, because they probably they know your character too, though.
Thank you.
Because they dealt with you and they interact with you and they know, hey man, he's a cop, man, he's a cool cop, maybe he can help me out. But within the law. So they don't really, maybe they do, but some probably don't really understand that whole unethical thing.
That's right.
They just probably you're like, hey man, Truman, you a cop now? I mean, you're a lawyer now? Hey man, I know you was a good cop. I know you'll be an awesome lawyer. That's how they probably looking at it. Yeah. That's how I'm gonna say they looking at it. Yeah. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. So, you married?
Married.
You have kids?
Kids. I'm a boy dad.
Boy dad.
Boy dad.
So, how many boys you have?
2.
2 boys. Talk about your family for a minute, man.
So I'm married. I've been married since 2016. To a beautiful young lady. Her name's Truman Fitzgerald. She's a lieutenant with the Birmingham Police Department. She's a lieutenant with the Birmingham Police Department, and she works the streets. So I am a law enforcement spouse, which that feels good to say. I am now a law enforcement spouse, which creates a unique dynamic with my criminal defense practice because not only do I have that background in being a police officer, I'm married to a police officer. Yeah. And what I like to say is that if I ever say anything bad about the police, if I ever say anything bad, I'm talking about my wife, but I'm also, it must be some good reason I'm saying that.
Yeah.
Because and I think that I get a lot of credibility because people look at that and say, he knows and he's not talking just to talk.
Yeah.
Because at some point, people look at criminal defense attorneys like, okay, that's their job. Of course, they're supposed to talk about the police. They're supposed to talk about the prosecution. But when you have someone who's a former police officer and is married to a police officer, if he's saying something bad about the police, we might need to look at what he's talking about.
You know what? And I think historically in the past, and maybe even globally, and we ain't going to make this no long bashing. I'm not going to bash it all, but in policing in general, the goal is to make sure that We need more of the good cops to talk about the bad policing, because it makes, when you have cases where you got bad policing and nobody's saying anything, then it's an issue. It's a global issue, and it's a reflection of the whole precinct at a point. So I'm talking not just about Birmingham, but I'm talking about policing as a whole.
Mike, do you know who the two most powerful parties are in the criminal justice system? Just police officers and just prosecutors. Women and men who are on the policing side that care about justice, and women and men on the prosecutorial side that care about justice. They are the most powerful parties in the entire criminal justice system. They have the power and they have the means to affect fairness and justice. There is nothing more beautiful in the criminal justice system than a righteous police officer and a righteous prosecutor.
Speak on it,
I had a prosecutor today put tears in my eyes by the way he treated my client. He treated my client so graciously, and he extended so much mercy to my client that he did not have to.
Yeah.
Those are the women and men that move our justice system along.
Right.
Those are the women and men that give us hope that, you know what, maybe this system isn't as broken at times as we think. Yes, it is broken.
It is.
But it's not broken all the time. And those women and men, like the prosecution team that I saw today,
it was awesome.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
Great. That's good words of encouragement too. I don't think the system is totally broken, but I do think it's broken.
It is.
You know,
it is
at some level, at some time, and the brokenness come when you get broken people.
That's right.
Yeah, that's when it becomes a broken system, when you got broken people. And a lot of times, we can go on and on, but it's like I said, it's not a bashing session. It's just what it is, man. And I like to see a day when good cops will hold bad cops accountable, you know. And we see this all over the world now, all over, when you know for a fact when something is going down and you see it right before your eyes, and other cops, they get involved, they're not involved, but they don't say anything, and they get the same type of punishment because you were there and you saw it go down. And I always say that if I was a cop, well, even if I wasn't a cop, I remember being in the juvenile correctional setting where I saw things was happening and I'm vicariously involved, and I'm telling on folks, because you know why? Because I don't want to go to jail and I don't want to be in trouble.
That's right.
I'm like, man, you did that, man. You should have never did that, bro. I got to report this.
You have to.
Yeah, because and at that moment, if you can't report yourself and you're going to take all of us down with you, then I'm not going down. I'm telling. And people that know me and from my childhood know that I tell. I ain't never been the one that sit back and talk and allow myself to be responsible for what you did.
For what somebody else did.
I'm just not
and you
doing
shouldn't
it.
have to.
I'm not doing that, man. That ain't what I'm doing. If I'm doing something, God knows I'm gonna take accountability for it. All right, move right along. Your husband. What a father and a husband mean to you?
It means being a provider. It means being a protector. It means being loving. I'm very affectionate. I think I'm probably, if you put.
That's your love language?
That's my love language. If you put a percentage on my affection, I'm probably in the 99th percentile of affection as far as being a father. Yeah. I'm a very major proponent on men showing their sons love, physically showing their sons love, whether it be a hug, whether it be a kiss on the forehead, a kiss on the cheek, whatever, telling them that you love them. That shapes our boys to become caring and empathetic men.
I've oftentimes made Facebook posts about that, what you're talking about. And this, in my opinion, is some of the reasons why we have young men that are not empathetic to
100%.
One another, because we haven't shown, other men haven't shown that loving, caring, physical touch kind of love. Now it's now it's considered to be what's that no diddy type of thing.
And that's just foolish. It's silly.
Man, I have a son that is 21 years old, and I would kiss him on the cheek right now. Yeah,
in a heartbeat.
And I hug him right now.
In a heartbeat.
And not only that, I tell him, even if we get a misunderstanding, he don't want to talk to me. Hey, I love you. I care about you. Come give your daddy a hug.
Aww.
Come give me a hug. But he he don't like it. He may be angry, but at the end of the day, when he come around, he's gonna be like, yo, G, how you doing? That's how he gonna get down with me. He gonna come hug me. He'll lay on the bed, grab me. You know what I'm saying?
And he probably feels like one of the most special people in the entire world because he has that love from his daddy.
I could be laying in my bed right now. When I go home right now, he get off work, and the first place he coming to is the bedroom and jump on top of me.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's love. Yeah, that's priceless love.
Yeah. And on top of that, I was able to, not toot my horn, but I just knew I wanted to be a father that I never had. I never knew my father. So that's how we I'm just letting you talk. I don't want to steal that because that was your moment. But I never knew my father. Wow. So when you don't know your father, either you're going to be the best father you could possibly be within those scope of the things, within that realm, or you're going to be the worst father. And that's a choice.
That's a choice.
That's like everything that we do is a choice. So my choice and my decision to me for my kids was to be the father that I never had.
That you never had.
So it happened that I'm a loving, caring person. I am. I'm just that person. So, but you said something so profound, being able to kiss them boys, hug them boys. They will in turn be able to do the same thing for their kids.
They sure will.
So we breaking generational
curses.
Yeah. So, man, that's awesome. Let's get into some fun questions. I'm gonna let you go.
All right. Okay.
So fast track fun questions,
Come on,
man.
Come on.
All right. When you're not working, what are some of the favorite things that you do when you're not working?
People watch. I love to people watch. Whether it's going to the mall, whether it's going to the mall. If I'm out of town, that's one of the main spots I've got to go to. I got to go to the mall. I got to people watch.
You got to look at the people.
Got to look at the people. I love interacting with people. I love going out to eat.
Oh, that's one of my favorite
love
things.
Chicken wings.
Okay.
I'm a wing connoisseur.
So, have you ever been to the Plum Bar across the street?
I sure have from the headquarters, police headquarters.
Okay, so right across the street is Wings Around the Clock.
And don't get me, Mike, I have never been to Wings Around the...
Jay.
Do they have a food truck?
Yeah.
I've been to I have had Wings Around They're good.
Okay.
I had the food truck.
Okay,
the food truck.
So that's my friend Jay.
They set up across the street from the Plum. Of course I've had Wings Around the Clock. They're amazing. They're amazing.
Okay.
They're amazing.
Jay, I got you heard Truman?
I have had Wings Around I've had the food truck.
Okay. So the brick and mortar is in Helena. He just opened up. So that's my friend of 30 years.
Wow.
Curtis Bass is my friend.
Yes.
For 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah. We all used to work together. And I told Jay that you would be coming on the show. Jay is the owner of Rings Around the Clock. He said, man, I don't know him per se, but that's my guy.
Aw.
So Jay, look at that, Jay.
And I've had Wings Around the Clock. I had to remind myself that's the food truck.
And Jay and I do a high school podcast. We do a high school sports podcast in here. It's called HSCU Podcast.
Ooh.
We talk about high school sports. But anyway, long story short, which would you rather be, rich or famous?
I'm so purpose driven that I would rather be famous.
Okay.
And I will tell you why. When you are recognized for what you love and what you're passionate about, that is a feeling that money cannot buy.
Yes.
And I can say this as a police officer because police officers get some notoriety.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just as happy making $35,000 as a rookie police officer, but everywhere you went, people, saw your uniform. People knew who you were because you were a police officer.
Yeah.
That feeling alone was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah,
now, as a father and as a husband, I should say rich.
Yeah.
Because I got to take care of my family.
Yeah.
But
famous.
To give you a concrete answer,
famous. We can rock with that. We can rock with that. So, do you have any hidden talents? And if so, what is it?
None.
None?
I am a one-stop shop. It is law, and that's it.
That's it.
I can't even change my own tire.
Hey, man, don't get me wrong, man. I had to practice that myself. So, what is one of your biggest pet peeves, if you have one?
Arrogance.
You don't like arrogant people, or you?
I do not like when people don't humble themselves.
Okay.
Because I feel.
So you talk about the bully now?
When people don't humble themselves and people think they're better than someone else,
right,
that bothers me.
Well, yeah. Do you think that there's no one man greater than the next?
Morally, realistically, there is.
Yeah.
I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
I've worked presidential inaugurations, and I've had Secret Service staff tell us as police officers, because we were working as a detail.
Yeah.
I've had Secret Service supervisors tell us, if there is an emergency, you get out of the way or we're going to run you over to get the president out of there.
Yeah. Wow.
And you mean to tell me the president of the United States doesn't have more value than me or my kids or my spouse? Realistically, yes. There are women and men in our society that hold more value.
Yeah. I get that's perfectly said, because you broke it down morally, as far as morals concerned. No, but as far as how people perceive the people that have higher value. Yes.
Let us be down to one water bottle, and Beyonce needs some water.
Yeah. Who that water going to?
Who's that water going to if the store had one last water bottle? They ain't giving it to me.
Not Truman.
Not me.
Not Mike Steele.
Not Mike Steele.
They're going to skip right on. Hey, excuse me, maybe trip over us and give it to Beyonce. Okay. What is your deep, if you have one, I don't know, but what is one of your regrets?
One, I would regret allowing people's opinions of me to shape much of my childhood and much of my upbringing as a young adult. I put too much emphasis on what others thought about me instead of just going after what I needed to do.
Yeah. Right. What are you, okay, and this is the last one.
Yes, sir.
And I'm just piggybacking. So today, 2026, Truman Fitzgerald, what's your mission?
My mission is to be the best possible attorney that I can be. That is my number one mission.
Okay.
Is to be the best attorney that I can possibly be. And I feel as though if I do that, everything else is going to fall into place.
Absolutely.
Everything else will fall into place.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been great. Y'all heard him, man. It's been an awesome conversation, man.
Awesome conversation.
I appreciate
Mike.
you. And I look, we don't want this to be our last time.
Yes, sir.
Because maybe even come co-host a show with me. I don't know.
I would love that.
Yeah, maybe you have your own law corner. I don't know. Maybe
I would love
something,
that.
Maybe that's something we can think about and talk about.
I would love that.
Yeah,
let's do that.
Yeah. And we'll talk. I think, man, power, man. Man, look. And I don't want to sound like a fan, but man, I'm a fan.
Thank you.
Yeah, man,
I'm a fan of yours.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you, man. I like young talent. I like where you're going, man. I like the things that you bring to the table, man. And we're going to be rooting for you from a distance or here and there. I'm going to be calling out to you. Man, continue doing what you're doing and don't let nobody stop you and don't allow you to stop you.
Ooh, that's major right there.
Yeah. Don't allow
you to stop you.
Yeah. Keep on fighting, man. Keep on breaking barriers. Keep on doing what you're doing. regardless of the naysayers, regardless of the people that may not think you deserve to be in this space. You know, you fought long and hard to be where you are, and God has you in this position for a reason, man. So you just keep on fighting, bro. Don't never give up. And like, my only claim to fame is to never stop. I'm passing the torch.
Thank you,
That
Mike.
is your claim to fame today.
You got it.
Just don't stop, man. Keep on moving. Like, we ain't gonna go like Peter. Don't stop, won't stop. But, man, seriously, though, man, keep on grinding, man. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Mike.
I am so stoked. I'm proud of you. And I just can't wait to see what else in store for you, man.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah. So, man, hey.
Love you, brother.
Man, I love you too, man. Hey, guys, man, it's been real, man. Hey, tell people how to contact you, man, and how to get in contact with your law firm, man.
If you are in search of a criminal defense,
yes,
personal injury, civil rights, and or employment attorney, give us a call, 205-360-0800, 205-360-0800. Our website is www.thelawlifestyle.com, www.thelawlifestyle.com.
You know what? And I apologize. It was something I should have done. I should have had that link and everything.
No worries.
Posted up. But what I'm gonna do, man, for the next couple of days is post it on my social media, post a couple videos of Truman on the video, on my Facebook page. And look, Birmingham, if you and people who are listening that are not from Birmingham, that may have family in Birmingham, hey, this is my guy right here, guys.
Thank you,
Tap
Mike.
in, get good counsel from someone that cares about the law and cares about people. Number one, cares about people and cares about the law. So, again, man, thank you for coming by,
Thank you,
man.
Mike.
I had a blessed, man.
I had a blast
time, man. Thank you for coming by, man. Until next time, man, this is Real Talk with Mike Steele, man. Y'all check me out. You can catch me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all those live. You can also catch the recording podcast dropping on Sunday on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple, and all those good places where y'all get your podcasts. Go check us out, man. It'll be a lot of bells and whistles because I'm an editor. You know how we do the podcast version of this thing. But make sure y'all stay tuned, stay locked, man. And you know how I always end this my conversation, man. Look yourself in the mirror. Look at yourself in the mirror. Ask yourself this one question: are you part of the problem or part of the solution? Until next time, man. Real Talk with Mike Steele. I'm out.
Appreciate y'all. I have a personal connection to any case where I can represent the underdog. I've been an underdog my entire life. I've been through separate episodes throughout the chapters of my life where I've had people that were more powerful or were in positions of authority and looked at me as though I was smaller than them. And it took my perseverance. It took me being strong to overcome those individuals. Each and every day that I get the opportunity to represent a client, that's an opportunity for me to be their protector. I love standing up against people who think they're more powerful than the next. And I love situations where you can fight the bully through the power and weapon of law.